My name's Simon Berry. I'm from WSP Green by Design. We are professional sustainability consultants, so we provide advice to the construction industry, to designers, to architects, to engineers on how to make the buildings that we build more sustainable. We are going to be doing a live modeling demonstration at the conference. One of the services that we provide to the industry, to the engineers and architects, is to be able to quantify what their design decisions impact will be on things like the energy consumption of the building, the thermal comfort that the occupants experience, the carbon emissions, etc. So we will actually put up a real live building on the big screen, and we will make a few changes to things like the glazing ratios or the glazing types or the shadows, and see what that actual impact means in terms of both the size of the equipment that you need to put into that building and also what the total energy consumption of that building over a year would be. In South Africa, it's a relatively new market with regards to sustainability, and very few experts and professions out there are aware that we're able to do this kind of quantification of the design impacts on buildings. So the market generally is trying to get up to speed with being able to do this, and we are finding that we're having to educate a lot of the professionals with regard to what is possible and what isn't possible. Well, as we know, South Africa in particular is having an energy crisis at the moment, and up to 40% of all the energy used within the world is consumed within buildings. So this is a big chunk of where we can actually make a difference in terms of reducing energy consumption and being more energy efficient. A lot of these efficiencies can be achieved through just clever design, and we can have the same type of buildings, the same quality of buildings that we are used to, but just by doing them more cleverly. So this represents a massive opportunity for both new and existing buildings to be able to improve energy efficiency, but also look at other aspects of sustainability, such as reducing water consumption, which is, as we know, is going to be an issue in South Africa shortly as well, and various other aspects with regard to materials that we're building with regard to transport systems, etc., etc. Really, the biggest challenge we face on a day-to-day is overcoming resistance to change. So our professions in South Africa and worldwide are used to designing their buildings a certain way, and what we need to do is do it differently. But people are naturally conservative, and they don't want to change the way they do things because they know it's worked in the past, and doing something differently is a risk. So through things such as modeling, we're able to demonstrate without building a single brick that a certain design will achieve a certain output, and that gives the professionals the confidence to be able to proceed with a new design and know that it will work when it actually gets built. The other big challenge in South Africa in particular is that our professions are very isolated in the way they work. So your mechanical engineer, your electrical engineer, your architect all have their own scope of expertise, and they focus on their own designs of their own systems. And really, in order to make a building most efficient, all those systems have to work together, they have to complement each other. And we need to, and our role is to try and get those professions to talk to each other, to give up a little bit of their design to someone else, and make sure that the whole design is an integrated approach. And through that integrated approach is where we see the best designs being achieved. We've seen over the last 5 years where Green Star, which is a rating system for buildings and how green they are, has been introduced. That's the developers and the public at large have really embraced sustainability, and it's really something that a lot of buildings now want to start doing and start implementing. So we do see the future as bright. We see that there's a lot of opportunity to make sure that our buildings are more sustainable, more energy efficient, more water efficient, and we see that in the future we'd like to see where every single building takes sustainability as the first step in terms of the design, and making sure that everything else follows in order to achieve a sustainable end.